I'm going to show you a few different ways that I use the tripod mount for these Sofirn lights. The Q8 Pro, and Q8 Plus both have a quarter 20 tripod mount on them, so you can hook them to mini tripods. You can hook them to other attachments and use them in various ways. Instead of using a handle with them, I use one of these Manfrotto mini tripods as my handle the majority of the time. So you can just use this, set it, screw it into the tripod mount, and then adjust it the way you want it. So you can just use it on a tripod like this to light up an area, set it on a table, and move it around, that sort of thing. But when you want to go walk with it and then you're going to run it a long time, these flashlights get really hot, especially if you used it on higher settings with them or switching in and out between turbo. They tend to get so hot that it's really hard to hold in hand. So I'll use this as a tripod mount. I can set it down, shine light wherever I need it, but when I'm ready to go, just close these handles, lean it back, and you can carry it at this angle down low. It's a good comfortable position holding it by your side and walk around with it this way. You can also hold it like this upright and shine it when it gets really hot, and move it around easy. And then when you're ready to set it down, you can still leave it on hot, quickly adjust this and pop it back. And with these Manfrotto mini tripods, they're really tight, so it'll hold the heavy weight of this flashlight. All you have to do is press this button in and this head moves around and you let it go. With some of these cheaper tripods like this one here, you can tilt it down a little further because there's a notch on the tripod head and hold it at a little bit flatter angle. But they tend to be a lot more aggravating, having to tighten down a knob and try to get it to hold. Most of these little tripods can't hold the weight quite as well as this Manfrotto does. It does a much better job at it. But you can still do the same thing, just fold out the tripod legs, set it down. But to align it the way you want, you got to unscrew this and move it around. Whereas with these Manfrottos, it's nothing but just pressing the button and you can quickly position it the way you want, let off, and you're good to go. Legs fold out, good solid rubber feeding on them. And this rubberized piece here won't scratch up your flashlight. Some of these pure metal handles, a lot of these handles that come with like the convoy flashlights, that sort of thing, you can use them with these lights, but they're all metal on metal contact, and they'll tend to scratch your flashlight up with time. Whereas these rubberized pieces here, it's a little easier, more friendly unscrewing and on the flashlight, and they stay really tight too. With that rubberized, it won't undo. And you can just set that flashlight up, put one of these silicone diffusers on there and tilt it back, and it'll light up a whole room. You can use it as if your power goes out, that sort of thing. You can just set it in the middle of a room, put it on low, and it'll light the whole room up. You're keeping it up secure on a stand, and it won't have any issues with falling over or rolling off the table, that sort of thing. You can also use that tripod mount for magnetic tripod heads. Some of these really strong magnet mounts, you can even mount this on the side of a car and be able to drive around with it and it won't fall off. Even when this size, the magnets are so strong in it. I've used these on top of off-road vehicles, just set them on there to give additional light if you need to turn it at an angle or shine it more up in the trees, people hunting, that sort of thing. You can just magnetize these and set them right on the SUV and be able to turn it up toward the trees, and as you're driving along you can see if there's anything up there, that sort of thing. But these are super great that you can adjust them quickly. But with that magnetic mount on there, you can just stick it on the side of a car. If you're doing work under the hood, that sort of thing, you can just quickly stick this up under the hood and put one of these silicone covers on them, and it'll light up better than most shop lights do in there. Another thing that you can do with them, which I like a lot, is using the clamp system. These things just screw in and out pretty easily with it, but you can use these type of clamps, like these small rigs that have a mount that'll hook around, say a handlebar on a bicycle, that sort of thing, or just mount it to any hanging bar, and then you can adjust, loosen this up, pivot it to angle you want, and mount your flashlight on there. If you want to get down in a lower location or something, hold it in a certain position. These arms work really good with them, and it's a rubberized piece on here also that you can screw it in there. As you can see on this, just using the regular aluminum handle, like say one of the convoy handles, just a little bit of movement can scratch that flashlight up, whereas the rubberized pieces won't do that. So if you're going to use a metal on metal handle, it's good to cut a thin piece of rubber on it and put it in between the mount, and it'll keep that from happening. This is the only one I've ever had scratch up, and I used a metal handle on it, and it didn't take 10 seconds for it to mess it up like that, whereas the other ones have always used these with a little rubber spacer in between, and I hadn't had the issue. So this works really great as a handle, just mount as a tripod, and this is by far my favorite way to use it here. So just give you some ideas of something you can do with that tripod mount on these Sofirn lights. It also work convoys, some of the other larger can type lights that have just a quarter 20 thread screw-in mount on it. It'll work really good with all those other lights too. So if this helps you out at all, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.